Have you ever felt like a puzzle piece forced into the wrong picture? Like you're watching the world from behind glass, separated by some invisible barrier everyone else seems to ignore? If your family calls you too sensitive, if love feels like a language you're still learning, if the daily grind of life leaves you gasping for air, listen closely. This isn't a flaw. This is your soul remembering. You're not just living one life. You're carrying echoes of 1,000 journeys, whispers of wisdom etched into your bones. The world may call you an outsider, a dreamer, too much. But what if you're not lost? What if you're simply older than this lifetime, a traveler who's walked centuries before this skin you're in? This isn't poetry. This is reality. Reincarnation isn't some mystical fantasy. It's the hidden architecture of your soul. And the signs are everywhere, if you know how to look. By the way, if this resonates, don't just listen. Subscribe. Because what comes next will change how you see everything. The term old soul isn't flattery. It's a recognition. It means your consciousness has cycled through lifetimes, gathering scars and gold, learning lessons no single existence could hold. You don't just think deeply, you remember. And that's why the modern world feels like a shallow echo to you. Let's uncover the truth together. Starting now. The signs of an old soul. You've always known you were different. Not in the way that seeks attention, but in the quiet, unshakable sense that you're a stranger in your own time. From childhood, you ask questions that made adults uncomfortable. Why do we die? What's beyond the stars? These weren't just curiosities. They were memories pushing through. Old souls move through the world like archaeologists of the heart. You crave depth in a world obsessed with surfaces. Small talk exhausts you. Crowds feel like storms of chaotic energy. And love? It's never just romance. It's a pull towards souls you've known before. You recognize them in the way their laughter echoes in your bones, or how a single glance carries the weight of unfinished business. Here's the truth they won't tell you. Your overthinking isn't anxiety. It's your soul's GPS recalibrating. You analyze life because you're not here to skim. You're here to understand. While others chase trends, you're drawn to ancient texts, forgotten philosophies, the kind of music that makes your chest ache. These aren't random tastes. They're breadcrumbs left by your past selves. And the solitude you crave? It's not loneliness. It's your soul's way of saying, listen, I have something to show you. In the silence, the echoes grow louder. Emotional footprints of past lives. Have you ever been gripped by a fear you can't explain? A panic when you see fire, a paralyzing dread of deep water, even though you've never been burned or drowned in this life. These aren't irrational phobias. They're soul scars. Your emotions are the oldest part of you. That sudden grief when autumn leaves fall. The way your hands remember skills you've never learned, like playing an instrument or speaking fragments of a dead language. These are your past lives knocking. The soul doesn't forget trauma or mastery. It carries both forward, waiting for the right moment to whisper. Remember this? Dreams are where the veil thins. You don't just dream in symbols. You dream in full-color episodes. Walking through cities that don't exist anymore, wearing clothes from another century, holding children whose names vanish when you wake. These aren't fantasies. They're memory reels playing behind your eyelids. Pay attention to the details, the era, the emotions. Your soul is showing you where you've been. And what about those people you meet and feel instantly, like love or rage written in your DNA? They're soul family. You've danced this dance before. Maybe as lovers in Versailles, warriors on the same battlefield, or enemies in a life where the lesson wasn't finished. Now here they are again. The universe doesn't believe in coincidences, only reunions. Decoding your soul's timeline. So, how many lifetimes have you lived? The answer is written in the way you move through the world. Young souls chase, old souls observe. They've already played the games of ambition and desire. Now they crave something deeper. Meaning. Start by listening to your reactions. Do you feel strangely calm in crises that leave others shattered? That's not detachment. It's perspective earned through centuries of watching empires rise and fall. Or do certain historical periods pull at you with an almost painful nostalgia? Ancient Rome, feudal Japan, the roaring 1920s. These aren't passing fascinations. They're your soul's homecoming. Your body remembers too. Unexplained aches in places never injured. Hands that seem to recall holding tools from another era, even birthmarks. Some traditions say these are wounds from past lives marking you, so you don't forget. Check the small things. Do you instinctively know how to use old weapons? Feel violent discomfort in certain buildings? These are clues. And here's the most profound sign. The older the soul, the less they fear death. Not because they're reckless, but because they've crossed that threshold many times. There's a quiet certainty, a sense that dying is just stepping through a door you've walked through before. Accessing the Akashic Library. Imagine a place where every thought, every life, every version of you is recorded in light. The Akashic Records aren't a metaphor, they're the universe's living archive. And your soul has a shelf there. You don't need to be a mystic to access them. You just need courage to remember. Start with the mirror. Stare into your own eyes for 5 minutes, not at your reflection, but through it. The pupils are called windows to the soul for a reason. As you gaze, ask silently, "Show me what I need to see." The first images that flash, a face, a landscape, a weapon, aren't imagination. They're pages from your soul's diary. Meditation is your master key, but not the sterile kind. Try this. Lie down as if preparing for surgery. Your body knows this position. It's how souls review their lives after death. Play theta wave music. As you drift, imagine walking down a spiral staircase with 12 steps. Each step represents a century you've lived. Count them slowly. The step where your breath catches, that's when something important happened. And when you dream of libraries, temples, or being handed scrolls you can't read, you're not dreaming. You're visiting. Keep a notebook by your bed. The handwriting that comes through won't always look like yours. Soul contracts and sacred agreements. Before you took your first breath in this life, you sat at a cosmic negotiation table. The people who've hurt you most, the ones you can't stop loving, they were likely there, souls you've known across lifetimes, agreeing to play certain roles so you could both evolve. These contracts explain the impossible bonds. Why you forgive someone the world says you shouldn't, or why a stranger's betrayal cuts deeper than logic allows. Your mother in this life might have been your executioner in another. Your abusive partner? Possibly a soul who volunteered to teach you self-worth through pain. The agreements are brutal but fair. No one enters your story by accident. You can uncover your contracts through simple rituals. Light a black candle, it absorbs energy. Hold a clear quartz to your third eye, whisper, "Show me the truth of our agreement." When thinking of any puzzling relationship, the first memory that surfaces, a flash of another era, a sudden taste or scent, is your answer. Some contracts expire. When a person leaves your life abruptly, it's often because you've both completed the lesson. The grief isn't just for them. It's for the version of you that needed them. Recognizing your soul tribe. You've met them before, the strangers who feel like home. Within minutes of conversation, you're finishing each other's sentences, laughing at memories that don't belong to this lifetime. These aren't chance encounters. Your soul tribe always finds you, like stars realigning according to some ancient celestial map. Watch for these undeniable signs. Instant recognition. A single glance carries the weight of 1,000 shared sunsets. Their voice vibrates at a frequency your cells remember. Synchronicities. You discover you were in the same place at the same time years before meeting, crossing paths like threads in fate's loom. Unspoken language. They understand your silences better than others grasp your words. You communicate through raised eyebrows and half smiles, as if retelegraphing an old code. Your tribe isn't always who you'd expect. The barista who hands you coffee with a knowing smile, the coworker who shares your obscure fascination with 18th century maritime history. These could be soul companions from a ship's crew in 1762. The connections transcend logic because they're written in something older than time. Here's how to activate reunion. Wear lapis lazuli or moldavite to heighten soul recognition. Visit places that inexplicably pull at you, museums, foreign cities, even certain neighborhoods. When you feel that electric jolt of familiarity with someone, say aloud, "We meet again," and watch their reaction. The universe hides your soul family in plain sight. They're waiting for you to remember. The shadow side of soul memory. Not all echoes from past lives are gentle whispers. Some are screams that rupture your present. That inexplicable rage when someone raises their hand too fast. The panic in crowded spaces that started in childhood. These aren't just fears. They're soul injuries screaming for attention. The darkest memories imprint the deepest. A soul who died in a medieval siege may now suffer unexplained claustrophobia. A woman burned as a witch might unconsciously avoid fire, her hands shaking near candles. These aren't irrational phobias. They're your nervous system remembering what your mind has forgotten. Warning signs your past is poisoning your present. Body memories. Pain or tension in areas with no medical cause. Tight throat equals hanging. Throbbing temples equals head trauma. Recurring nightmares. Always the same unfamiliar place. Always the same suffocating terror. Unexplained skills or aversions. Fluent in a language never studied. Or violent disgust toward historically significant objects, swords, certain uniforms. How to break the cycle. Somatic release. During panic attacks, say aloud, "This happened then. I am safe now." Rub your arms to ground in your current body. Salt water cleansing. Submerge a silver spoon in salt water overnight, then run it over your wrists and temples at dawn while visualizing white light. Past life cord cutting. Visualize black threads from your solar plexus to the horizon. Snap them while declaring, "I release what no longer serves my soul's evolution." Your trauma remembers so you can finally forget. Heal the ancient wound and watch the modern symptom dissolve. Harnessing ancient wisdom. Your soul isn't just a repository of memories. It's a weapon forged through centuries of experience. Those sudden flashes of insight, the uncanny ability to read rooms, the hands that seem to remember skills they've never learned. These aren't coincidences. They're your past selves passing the torch. The key lies in the liminal spaces, those twilight moments between sleep and waking, the seconds after a powerful meditation, the breathless pause before inspiration strikes. This is when the veil between lives thins. Try this tonight. The ink method. Before sleep, hold a pen and whisper, "Show me what I already know." Place the pen on blank paper beside your bed. Upon waking, immediately grasp it and let your hand move without thought. The symbols or words that emerge are your soul's muscle memory. Somatic activation. When facing a challenge, place your palm over your sternum and demand, "Bring forward the lifetime where I mastered this." The first image or sensation is your answer. A warmth in your fingers? You were a healer. Sudden tension in your shoulders? A warrior stance. The oldest souls often become instant experts, picking up complex skills with unnatural ease. This isn't talent. It's recall. That guitarist who never took lessons? Their fingers remember 16th century lute strings. The polyglot who absorbs languages? Their tongue is simply reawakening. Your ancestors aren't just in your blood, they're in your hands. Let them work. The end game of old souls. There comes a turning point in the soul's journey when the hunger for earthly experiences shifts to a deep, unshakable yearning for home. You'll feel it in quiet moments, a bittersweet ache when watching sunsets, as if remembering some brighter sky beyond this world. This isn't melancholy. It's your soul preparing to graduate. Old souls nearing completion often experience these sacred signs. The unlearning. Material ambitions fall away like old skin. Careers, possessions, even relationships that once defined you now feel like costumes you're ready to remove. The acceleration. Synchronicities arrive in relentless waves. Repeating numbers, prophetic dreams. Strangers who deliver exactly the message you needed. The universe is cramming in final lessons. The detachment. Pain no longer paralyzes you. Breakups, failures, even grief are met with quiet observation. You're becoming a witness rather than a participant in the drama. Most telling? you begin meeting versions of your past selves. The homeless man whose eyes hold your grandmother's gaze. The child who quotes your long-dead mentor. These are your soul's mirrors, showing you how far you've come. If this resonates, your task isn't to cling, but to let go with grace. Your final incarnation isn't an ending. It's the soul's ultimate act of love, a whispered thank you to Earth before stepping into the infinite. Your soul's next chapter, this isn't about dwelling in the past. It's about liberating your present. Every memory you've uncovered, every soul contract recognized, every ancient skill retrieved is meant to serve your now. The true mark of an old soul isn't just remembering, but integrating, allowing those fractured pieces of your eternal self to finally click into place. Start today. Keep a soul journal, not for documenting, but for dialoguing. Ask questions in black ink, answer in blue. The shift in handwriting will startle you. Create an ancestor altar, not for blood relatives, for your past selves. A seashell for the sailor, a quill for the scribe, a stone for the shaman. Watch how your intuition sharpens. Speak your soul's language. Learn one phrase from a culture you're drawn to. When whispered alone, it may unlock floodgates. You stand at the crossroads of all your incarnations. The road behind you stretches further than eyes can see. The road ahead hums with possibilities not yet dreamed. This is your soul's middle chapter, not its end. If this journey has resonated with even one cell of your being, don't let it end here. The universe brought you to this message for a reason. Subscribe, because what comes next will help you navigate this awakening. More than that, it'll remind you how to finally, fully come home. The curtain never closes on consciousness. Your story is eternal. But this lifetime, it's the one where you finally remember.